Technical university teachers are beginning an indefinite strike nationwide today as they say tensions on their campuses have reached a crescendo over delays in migrating them to public university single spine salary structure. In a statement signed by President of TUTAG, Dr. Solomon Kilson, the association also rejected government's preconditions for the migration.
In 2016, Parliament passed the Technical Universities Act, Act 922, to elevate six polytechnics to university status. That's what has become known as technical universities. Members of the Polytechnic Teachers Association of Ghana, TUTAG, who were also migrated to teach in those technical universities, remain on their old salaries 2 years after the elevation. Now known as Technical University Teachers Association of Ghana, TUTAG, the association argues that since its status has been elevated, it is only fair and proper for government to migrate its members onto conditions of service which pertains in the area of their new status. It's been 2 years, and that's what it says it's generating tension on the various campuses right now. Government has not rejected the request. The Education Ministry says the migration will be carried out only after some preconditions have been satisfied. These conditions are the enactment of statutes and appointment of substantive officers in what the NCTA refers to as key positions, adoption of approved scheme of service, and the conduct of comprehensive staff audit. TUTAG outrightly rejects these conditions, saying it will be unfair to keep its members on a salary below their status. TUTAG explains that the delay has led to the exodus of lecturers, a situation TUTAG believes could result in the loss of quality staff and eventually affect the president's vision of industrializing Ghana through technical and vocational education and training.
Let's get on the phone lines now and speak to the General Secretary for TUTAG, John Danso. Sir, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. You must have been dissatisfied with discussions with government on the migration of your members onto the single spine salary. Tell us how you got here.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to say a very good afternoon to your cherished viewers and listeners alike. To say that we are dissatisfied is an understatement. We are highly disappointed by the attitude of the government and the agencies of government that are supposed to speak to the migration or the migration of the technical university teachers. What happened was that on 26th of June 2018, we wrote to the National Council for Teacher Education seeking to be migrated onto the current structure of public universities. After waiting for 1 month, we never heard anything from NCT, so we decided to focus our attention on the ministry. That's the Ministry of Education.
Okay.
We wrote to Ministry of Education on the 26th of July, 2018. Unfortunately, it took the ministry 1 whole month to reply to our letter through NCT. Now, the letter that we got from NCT tells us 3 main reasons why we are not as yet migrated onto the salary structure of public universities. One was there's a need to have statute. 2, there was a need to have scheme of service. And 3, there was a need to have staff audit. Comprehensive staff audit, as they say. But after we going through the letter, we saw that, or we realized that all those 3 preconditions that they have put across were not tenuous. They lie flat on their face, because if you look at what has transpired since the conversion of the polytechnics into technical university in 2016, these are not the things that NCTA, or for that matter, Ministry of Education, should hold us ransom and decide not to migrate us onto these 3 things.
If you say these are not things that the NCCE can hold you to ransom about, you mean that it should have been easier for them to have done these things that they want to do by now, or you mean that they can still migrate you without necessarily doing these things?
Both. They can still migrate us without necessarily doing these things. And as I told you, we were converted or were established as technical universities in August 2016, 2 years now.
Okay. So
and then if you take their first point of statute, the statute, I would like to say that since 2016, we have been operating as technical universities, and then we operate by statute. So it means that if we don't have statutes, there's no way we could operate as a university.
Okay.
So that point lies placed on the flat on the face. If you take the second option of scheme of service, we know that scheme of service is the responsibility of the employer and not the employee. So if you, the employer, you are renegating on your responsibility to create scheme of service or come out with a scheme of service, how do you then hold the employee as the one being responsible?
So when was the last time you heard from the NCCE or the Ministry of Education?
In fact, after the letter we got from Ministry of Education through NCTE, that was with 9, we sent a reply stating that we don't accept those preconditions. And then we gave an indication to National Labour Commission that we will embark on an industrial action if the government does not respond to us in 2 weeks.
So you're starting that strike today, correct?
It was yesterday because Labour called us, sent us a letter, summoning us for a meeting yesterday. Unfortunately, you know that normally what happens is that in our situation, we need to call our chapter chairs so that we'll all go there and listen to whatever that they have for us. So our members came across all the regions to Accra with a view of meeting National Labour Commission. We went to the premises of National Labour Commission only to be told that we are not having the meeting. After making our members travel all the way from Tamale, Sunyani, Ko, Boga, Wa, Koforidia, and we, the national, which is in Accra, including our local, we got to their premises and were told that the meeting was not coming off.
Okay.
Which we saw as a gross disrespect and a renegade on the responsibility of a body that is supposed to be an arbiter in an issue of labor, in labor issues. But then we were highly disappointed when we got to their premises and were told that the meeting was not coming off as scheduled, when we had never been given any prior notice.
Were you giving any further explanation as to why the meeting could not come off the day you were told the road?
Unfortunately, when we got to the premises of National Labour Commission, we met a gentleman who introduced himself as working in the Public Relations Department of NLC. And the message he gave us was that the commissioners were not available and that the meeting could not come off. In fact, members demanded to see one of the commissioners so that we will know exactly what is happening, or that they will give us even a letter suggesting the next date of our meeting. All these things were to no avail.
Right.
So we had to leave the premises of NLC to where we all came from.
Since you started the strike yesterday, have you heard any response from them?
We are yet to have any communique or information from NLC, Ministry of Education, or NCT.
Take us through, finally, take us through a roadmap of your strike action. How is it supposed to play out exactly?
In fact, you know, at the moment we are doing a sit-down strike, which means that we'll be available while not render our basic service of
So you go to school, but you will not teach?
Yes, exactly. That's what we are doing.
Okay.
Hoping that the government will take the necessary actions or steps to make sure that whatever that we are demanding, which is legitimate, will be given us, and then everything will be normalized.
So the timeline is this: you are starting the sit-down strike today. Yesterday. You started yesterday, and it's continuing up to when? And after that, if you still don't hear from government, what is going to happen?
We decided that we are starting with a sit-down strike for 1 week. After 1 week, if we don't hear any positive thing from the government, then we'll announce our next line of action.
Okay. All right. Mr. Danso, thank you so much for your time. At the moment,
my pleasure.
though,
My pleasure.
Are the schools putting in any measures to, deal with the period of your silence, so that the students don't get to lose out so much?
You know that in most situations, when we embark on industrial action as an academia, we are supposed to teach 16 weeks in a semester. Once our demands are met, the 16 weeks will be covered. Unlike doctors, where when they go on strike and people die, you cannot bring them back. In our situation, we can always make up for the lost time. So all that we need or we want is for the government to accede to our demands, and then everything will be fine.
Mr. Danso, thanks for your time this afternoon. Joseph Danso, there he is the General Secretary of the Technical University Teachers Association of Ghana. They have declared an indefinite strike which started yesterday. Right now, they're on a sit-down strike. They go to school, but they don't teach. They're doing this for a week, and afterwards, if government does not respond as they wish, they will continue with the next line of action, which he doesn't disclose.